All right, we have quorum. So, Jed, since you're the vice chair, you want to call this
Call to
bad boy to
order.
order? All right, so 7:03, we're calling to order. So, obviously, I'm just going to run down the happenings of summer and up to current. So, um, you know, we had a incredibly busy summer, which is a great thing. I always call it my 10 weeks of hell, but it's 10 weeks where we make all of our money, and that's where we do all of our work. So, for our summer camp that we directly run, Club Rec, we had 563 kids over the 6 weeks that we had. So we had about 94 kids a week, which is significantly up from last year. Last year, I think we averaged about 80. This year, about 94, like I said, per week. And there's a lot of factors that I contribute that to. One, obviously, is I think that we have a really good program. Um, but also, there's been a ton of changes at the Boys and Girls Club. Everybody that I've worked with for the last 10 years, they're all gone. So I think the fact that there was some change over there, people didn't know what they were getting into or not getting into, and we got a lot of that benefit. So, my staff did a great job. We had a few behavioral issues, which we would anyways, doesn't matter. But overall, a great job. We did have to terminate one staff during the summer. Very unfortunate, but these things do happen from time to time. So in this way, so I wasn't caught shorthanded. I needed to bring in another staff. Getting somebody 2 weeks into summer is difficult, but fortunately, my youngest daughter, her boyfriend was looking for work. He has experience with kids. He worked for SNL, who works with us. So he got hired for the summer and did a tremendous job. So, typically I don't like hiring from outside of Wakefield. We always hire from Wakefield, but at the state of where I was and where I needed a trusted body, we pulled in who we could pull, and it worked out very well for us. So, good summer there. Our summer safety program with the police department and the Board of Health, we had 128 kids this summer. Again, a slight increase, which is good for us. Our Kids Corner program, which is the 3 to 5 year olds, the babies, as we like to call them, even though they're big kids. We had 115 kids over the 6 weeks, so 19 kids per week, literally right where we were last year. This year we added a CIT element, so the counselor in training. Those are kids who age out of our program but aren't old enough to be hired yet. We had 73 kids who registered for that. So we had 12 per week essentially. And then we also had volunteers. So I've had kids who have been with us for several years who should have been a CIT, but we didn't have a program. We've seen kind of that growth of the need for it. So we filled that need. But I wasn't going to tell kids who have been with us for 3 years, all of a sudden you have to now pay for this. They're grandfathered in as far as I was concerned. So really, we had about 16 to 17 CITs per week, and it really worked out well. We had some really great kids, and I think they got a lot from it, and we certainly got something from having the extra bodies there. Especially if we were short on staff because of vacations or illnesses, whatever it was, we could backfill it with 3 CITs, and it worked out very well. Um, for our morning care of Club Rec, we had 56 kids total for the summer, so not basically 9 per week. That's just a service that we provide. We don't really make anything off of that, but it's an offering, so parents who need to drop off their kids early can do so. And then we also have a PM care program that goes from 3 to 5:30. We had 63 kids for the 6 weeks, so about 10 per week. And again, just an offering. I'd love to see better numbers, but it's nice that parents are able to come and get their kids earlier during the day because it's a long day for them anyways. So overall, our summer camp programs, great year, great staff, and very happy all around with that. The other program that we directly run in-house is the blacktop basketball. Chris Brown, who has been with me for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years at this point now, has done a tremendous job for me. He got the program back up a little bit. He moved the program from morning times to later in the afternoons. And we had 58 kids this summer, which is a slight increase for us from last year. This program is definitely one of those ones that's kind of dying off. I've seen the trend for years, but as long as Chris is around and able to run it, I'm going to have it going. If Chris all of a sudden said one day, "Hey, I can't do it anymore," we would find something else to do instead of this. Um, but for now, it works, and Chris does a great job and brings on great kids to work with him. Um, Tennis lessons this summer, we had 54 kids total. Now, it's very different than when Sandy Palmer used to run it for us. So Sandy used to run the classes by the week. Now we do it with tennis in the parks. which is through the National Tennis Association. They um, they do it twice a week for 4 weeks. So it's really a very different program. So it's harder for parents to commit to going to Tuesday and Thursday morning for 4 straight weeks. So our numbers aren't as great as they were. But again, it's an offering. They do a really good job, and parents are generally happy with it. So I guess those are the most important things. And we do take something away from it, which is good. We had top secret science in the summer. We had 19 kids for that. We had a Brazilian soccer group come in to offset the WSA program that Wakefield Soccer does. They had 27 kids for theirs. WSA had about 40 kids per week. They had 3 weeks, so they did pretty well. The Lego Adventures program. This is with Right Brain Curriculum. It's a good program that we work with. We only had 10, but they can only take 14 anyway, so we were kind of right there. We did have a program with them called Lego Future House. That one was canceled. That's the only program that we canceled all summer. So that's good for us. I hate that we had to cancel the one, but we canceled it. We had field hockey with Tina Matera from Tufts University. She had 82 girls in her program this summer, which is tremendous. Kim Penny's basketball program, which has been a staple in Wakefield for a long time, and I've actually done it with her for 23 years now. Had 90 girls this summer. Our Right Brain Curriculum Minecraft program had 8 kids. SNL covers a lot of programming time for us when our summer staff goes back to school. Um, so over the course of really 3 weeks, they had 493 kids come through their program. Tremendous numbers, and they have tremendous staff. So it was excellent. The boys lacrosse program that they did for us had 21 kids. The girls lacrosse program had 12. And then they do a rec on the run program for us, kind of track and field stuff. They had 22 kids. Now, those numbers were bigger when they were in Wakefield. We currently don't have a track, as we all know, because we have a high school being built on that. So everybody goes to Reading right now. I see a bounce back when we get back into Wakefield that the number will spike back up. But honestly, running the program, giving people something that they want to do is important to us. So we're happy with that. Um, we did a T-ball program this summer. So one of our wonderful residents, Drew Betts. Drew is actually the athletic director of Danvers, and he had reached out to me and said, "Hey, my son does T-ball. I want to do a T-ball program. How can I do it?" I said, "Hey, here's what we can do." He offered to run it, so he did a T-ball program for kids 3, 4, and 5 years old. He had 27 kids who were there for like 4 weeks after like 3 o'clock in the afternoon at Nacella Field. Everybody was happy. Got us some proceeds, and then we're going to send a check to the baseball program per his request instead of him taking a fee, and let them get some extra funds for their program. So kind of a win-win there. Um, the baseball program with Coach Canty had 34 kids this summer. Softball with Coach Tolios had 34 as well. Volleyball had 2 different sessions, had 63 total. The basketball coaches, boys and girls, joined forces once again. Did 2 clinics for us. They got 76 kids at one camp. They had 78 at another. They did have an unfortunate injury at one of their camps where one kid broke both his wrists. He tried to jump off of a set of stands and dunk a basketball. Um, and he had told everybody that he slipped and fell. There was video of him actually jumping off and trying to dunk. So unfortunate, but he is okay. That's the most important thing. But that did happen, and all that was documented. Young Engineers is a Wakefield-based program to mom and a dad who run it. We had 17 kids for their program in the first time, which is great. We had youth cheer again this summer, which was led by my oldest daughter and her 2 friends, one who's a cheerleader at UNH, the other one who's a cheerleader at Endicott College, and my daughter was at Fairfield. They had 58 girls for that. We did a youth tumbling clinic, which was actually led by Karen, my admin's daughter, who is a D1 gymnast at George Washington University. And her friend, who is now a diver, was a 1 year gymnast at Ithaca, but now a diver on their swim team. They had 16 girls for that, which we capped it at that because we wanted to make sure that we had safety protocols, make sure we're doing everything correctly there. And that was stupendous. I mean, we had a large wait list for that. Youth photography had 9 kids in the program, and that was over at Hunt's Photography in Melrose. They do a fantastic job, went very well. Viking Pickleball came back in for us. So that's a group from Florida that has come up for several years to do a 1 week clinic with us. The woman who runs it, Sarah, is a pro, retired because of injuries. But when she comes in, we get huge numbers. We had 74 people for 1 week, which is tremendous for that. Young Entrepreneurs is a new program that we are doing with actually a couple students at Babson have founded this company. Go figure, it's from Babson, that's Young Entrepreneurs. And they have brought in some really high-end entrepreneurs in the business world to run classes for them. And they did their first class this summer. They did it at the Albion Culture Exchange. They had 10 kids. It went incredibly well. It was the woman who ran the program is actually running it again this fall for us in the Heritage Room. And we're excited about that starting this coming Friday. So, oh, and then Target Soccer Academy has been going with us for years. Target is run by the Reading High soccer coach, also named Dan McGrath, also my college roommate, also a dear friend. And he does it in conjunction with the Wakefield High coach, Matt Angelo. He does it with the Northeast Vogue coach, Mike Shaw. And then they try to get Stoneham involved as well. And they had record numbers this year. So it was all in all a very good summer, very busy summer. Um, but we're happy. We're happy with how it went. We're happy it's over. And that's it for summer. Any questions about programs?
Have a drink of water, Dan.
All right.
My only question was, you said something about a check into the baseball program. Did it go to the Wakefield or the Danvers baseball
No, it
program?
goes to Wakefield. Yep. He arranged to go with Coach Candy. So again, athletic director Betts is a great guy. Did this out of the kindness of his heart. Didn't want to be paid for it. Wanted to give his kid an opportunity, but also give money to Wakefield baseball. So a win-win. All right. Seeing no other questions, we're going to move over to fall programs because we are up and running for that. Um, some of these are just beginning or have just begun, so numbers are going to change a little bit. Adult Tap, which starts next week, Adult Tap Dance has 12 people signed up. The Children's Playhouse, always a popular program for us. Our youth theater program is capped at 50 kids. They have 50 kids with a wait list. They also have moved into kind of some more talk-based programs. They're doing a Broadway Babies program, which is kind of musically inclined stuff. They have 6 kids for that signed up, which is great. Young Entrepreneurs is coming back again. Like I said, they start on Friday. They have 9. We introduced a field hockey league a couple of years ago with Coach Matera from Tufts, who's a Wakefield resident, and she has 83 girls registered for her program currently. Grades 1 to 2 has 21, grades 3 to 4 has 19, grades 5 to 6 has 23, grades 7 to 8 has 20. And this year they actually are going to have 3 home games. They've had 2 already. They're doing it on the weeks where youth football isn't at Landrigan, so it's really working out very well, and everybody seems to be pleased so far. We have also taken over so for the last couple of years, Galvin has hosted the Wakefield Academy has hosted a 7th and 8th grade volleyball program. For reasons unbeknownst to me, they didn't want to do it the Wakefield Academy. So the women who were running it came to me and said, "Will you facilitate this for us?" So I did. So we are full with that program. We have 18 7th grade girls playing and 18 eighth grade girls playing. So we're happy with that. Would have liked to have taken more, obviously, because we did have a wait list, but we have to cap it somewhere and make sure that we can have reasonable expectations for what kids are going to play and how many skills everybody's going to learn. So it's working. Fencing, we have 34 kids or 34 participants registered. Jim Fitzgerald, who is one of our great volunteers for anything regarding pickleball in Wakefield, is once again doing pickleball classes for us. And Jim does them out of the kindness of his heart. He does not get paid for these. He is doing Sunday nights and he has 20 people registered. His program is capped. We have pickleball lessons that we do during the week on Mondays and Wednesdays. Those start next week. We have 22 people signed up for that. We still have a little bit of room, but we're happy with where we are. Flag football, our numbers are down this year. Last year we were about 237. This year we're 188. But what we've noticed, having talked to other communities, everybody's down across the board. Melrose had actually called me several weeks before our program began and asked where our numbers were. And I said, it's a little low right now, but I'm pretty sure we'll get to whatever number. He goes, Dan, mine are low, and I can't make sense of it. Reading's always been 900 something kids. They're not there. So it's just one of those kind of funny seasons. I know when my oldest daughter graduated high school, she had like 450 kids in her class, which is like unheard of in Reading. I think that there was kind of a baby boom, and I think we're kind of slowing back down. So I think that's where we are, because every town is kind of saying the same thing. It's certainly not for lack of product. The Chris Brown, who I mentioned before, is a great volunteer for us or does a great work for us. He also works for SNL. He is one of our two, or not one of our two, one of their two directors at the program. He's well known in town. And then they have Lance Doughton. Lance Doughton is a Mass State Hall of Fame basketball coach, played football at the University of Michigan, really well known guy. He's been the director up there for years. So we have two great trusted people. We just don't have the numbers. So 188 kids are getting some great experience this year, which is awesome. Soccer shots for the fall has 84 kids registered. For the summer, they had 63. I did not include that originally. And our climbing program that I've spoke of before always fills up, is filled up once again. We have 12 kids capped in that program. So that's it for programming at this time. That doesn't mean that we're done because we add things as they come along. To me, there is no timeline to do these things. We do it as long as space is available. So that's where we are for programming. Anything on fall programs?
Dan, the field hockey and the volleyball
Yep,
leagues that you were talking about, do they play like against other towns?
you do. Yep,
Okay. So like
yep,
the set when you were like, oh, we had to cap volleyball at 18
yep.
seventh grade girls, that's because like that's a team that's going. Okay,
Correct.
that makes sense.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep. Yeah, they're practicing it. They're practicing as a team, and then they go play, or people come to us and play.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's not like an in-house league.
No,
Got
it's
it.
not. No, if it was just something that we would, just us, yeah, we'd add 50 kids, and who
Of
cares?
course, yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit different. The nice thing about this one is I'm very anti tryouts for what we do. I'm
Yeah.
anti cuts for what we do. That was literally first come, first serve. That's who got on the list. So
Hmm.
we didn't cherry pick, which is nice because I don't like that, especially when there's kids involved. So,
Yeah.
high
And
school, I understand that stuff's going to happen. Youth, I don't like it. So that's
yeah,
just my
they
own
gotta
personal
they
philosophy.
gotta learn somewhere.
They do.
Um, and what about Biddy basketball? Was SNL not able to run that?
We just don't have the gym time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Which takes me to, you know, the facility stuff. We are slammed in the gym. We've been slammed for a while. I can barely find an hour in there for anything these days, which is a great problem to have. But that's where we are. So, come the start of school, the Boys and Girls Club is in the gym until 6. And then youth cheer comes in from 6 to 8. Then adult basketball or pickleball, whatever it is, on Friday nights, they come in from 8 to 10. On the weekends, we have a bunch of parties, which is fantastic, or rentals, which is great. On Sundays, we have youth cheer in from 9, no, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then we put pickleball lessons in from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So we are 3 to 7, sorry. So we are just jammed. And then when basketball season hits, forget it. I mean, on Saturdays they are 8 to 8, Sundays they are 8 to 6. Um, it's all this is all the way until March. So I had a conversation with SNL. We are going to bring it Biddy basketball back in March. We're going to try to get in a March session, March to April, April to May, and then do a May to June. Hopefully, is what we're trying to get 3 in that time. The goal. So um, continuing with the Al, AmeriCal, since it's on it. We have a whole slew of new tables and chairs coming. So we had gotten $8,000 from the Capital Improvement Committee to update some stuff. We needed round tables. I found great pricing on round tables through Amazon. So we have gotten 25 round tables. We got 26-foot long tables. We got 60 chairs. I got a rack for the chairs. I got racks to move the tables around to make it easier for the staffing. I forget what else. We spent about $7,300. So all of that stuff's coming in. It's gonna be nice to refresh everything because the round wood tables that we have came from, I'm guessing, the, yeah, Elks at some time or something like that, are beat to crap. And we just need something that's a better product. The other tables, the long 6 foot longs that we have, I use during the summer, so they get absolutely destroyed with paint or whatever else it is. Just gonna be nice just to have some better things for our facility. So all that stuff's on order and should be coming in soon. And our custodian, Nick, who has been with us since April, is still with us. He's great. He's happy, we're happy, and things look fantastic there. Um, the Boys and Girls Club I mentioned before, they've had a big shift. They are no longer using the Heritage Room right after school, so we're going to be putting in some more programming in there. They got rid of their school-aged EEC program. Um, because of cost concerns. I guess their busing costs were more than they were bringing in, so they got rid of that program. And then so they're just operating the teen center now. So they are downstairs in the big room. They're downstairs in the room at the bottom of the stairs. And then they use the gym for 4 hours a day. Right now they're outside pretty much every day, until today, of course. But they expect that they're gonna have bigger numbers as the weather kind of shifts. So um, and they'll be upstairs more, and they pay for it whether they use it or not. So that's good. As far as the Albion Culture Exchange goes, so we used that a lot this summer for enrichment programs, which was a big benefit to us. It was a staging area for Porch Fest this year. The Porch Fest organizers had called and said, "Hey, can we use that space so we can kind of be a central hub?" Absolutely, we worked it out for them. We had 2 art shows. One was brought to us by one of my former camp counselors. One of his friends wanted to do a show, so we did that. And then our summer camp club rec did their own art show. So the kids, their works that were done during the summer were displayed at Albie, and it was great. We had some Pokemon classes. So Pokemon, we're all kind of familiar with it. I'm not as much, but I know what Pokemon is. Um, we have a lot of shows that we do at the Civic Center or that take place at the high school. The gentleman who runs those wanted to do some classes to teach kids how to play Pokemon. So we did a couple classes there. And then we have the October art show coming up that happens every October. So we're excited about that for them. Any questions about facilities? It's kind of rambled there. So, and then field wise, I mean, fields are jammed. You know, we really miss Beasley. I didn't realize how much we would miss it until it was actually gone. I think if I had my say anything, I would have rather had the high school built at Walsh, but I didn't know that at the time, nor did I have an opinion in the matter, or nor did I have a say in the matter. But I think it would have been easier to lose that than lose the turf field, but it is what it is. So, youth football, I think I mentioned back in the spring that youth football I found out was going to Danvers Indoor Sports 2 days a week, and I really didn't find that was fair for them. So I took one day, 2 hours of time from soccer at Galvin and gave it to youth football. So they are at Landrigan on Mondays and Thursdays, and then they are at Galvin on Wednesdays, and it seems to be working out very well. Field hockey also took an hour, which they have always had since they've been doing this with us at Galvin as well. So youth soccer lost 3 hours of turf time, um, which shouldn't seem like a big deal because everybody should have been planning for this years ago when we said we're going to be losing a field. Let's not keep adding teams. Well, that didn't necessarily happen. So they've had to be very creative with their field scheduling, and they've done a very good job of it, and they've been very flexible, which I appreciate. One thing that youth soccer did was they went out and they actually rented portable lights that are at Nacella on the back field, so they can raise them and shine that field up so they can have whole practices there. And then once men's softball is over, which I think should be ending next week or maybe the beginning of the following week, we're going to allow soccer to go down there and practice on the outfield as well. So they will have lighted fields at um, yeah, Walton and Mullen, as well as Nacella and Betts. So I think we worked it all out. Everybody's kind of getting what they need, but it was kind of a chore this year. Usually field scheduling is very easy, and we know exactly who's going to go where. It's very kind of cyclical every year. This one was a big challenge because of we moved youth football because I just didn't think it was fair for them to go out of town to rent space when we can give them 2 hours in our town. So we made it work, and that's where we are with field scheduling. Any questions there?
Yeah, just circling back to the facilities. How is the roof holding up down over the basketball court?
Oh, great. Fantastic. It's brand new roof. They ice and water shield all the way to the top, so we should never have a worry there during my time.
Excellent.
Yep. And again, the key was during my time.
I'm with you. Just one thing, I don't know if you had covered it previously or not, but I heard from from Wakefield Youth Softball that the town has approved money for improvements at Maple Way, and that also they got money from the state on top of that. So
I think I heard that, but it's not something that would necessarily come across my desk because that's more of a dentist thing.
Yeah.
But that happened because Maple Way 2 definitely needs love.
yes, yeah, it's definitely a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're talking about putting a batting cage.
Yes. You had told me
they have
that.
at Fernald.
Yep. Okay.
And a couple of pitching warm-up areas, not necessarily bullpens, but bullpen-like things without the fence around them.
Very nice.
So now we'll see, and a fence, outfield fence at Maple Way 1. So
Nice.
we'll see. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. If you hear anything, keep me posted on it.
Yeah.
I know that you're you're on the inner circle with youth softball, so
Yeah, got my ear to the track. I just
know
hope a
you
train
do.
doesn't come.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Because that is all I have that I can see. Of course, I realize I'm getting blind now, so apparently I need to get glasses. I'm just not giving into it yet. Yeah, that's all I got. Anybody get anything for me? Questions, concerns, or otherwise? All right, Mr. Vice Chair.
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Awesome. Next meeting, Dan?
Whatever the second to last Wednesday of October is.
Okay.
Right.
We will send. Yeah, we'll send that out in advance because I know actually the 29th is the last. So it's gonna be about the 22nd. We will definitely do it that week because the next week will be senior week for my daughter for dance team at Reading High. So
Awesome.
I get that to look forward to. Yeah, so we'll meet then. Anybody needs anything, wants to come by, say hello, please do. I love visitors. Though you will not catch me in on any Fridays. I take every Friday off through the end of the year because I got to use vacation time.
Good.
Might as well have a long weekend every weekend for 4.5 hours. Totally worth it.
Yep. Yep.
But come on by otherwise. I'm around.
Cool.
I always stop by. I love it.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Have a great
Bye,
night.
everybody.
y'all.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Bye now.